Good morning, everyone. Welcome to You Have Beauty Care Choices. I am here with Kevin Wachs from Earthly Body. Nice to see you, Kevin.
And nice to see you as well. Happy to be here.
Oh, I'm having trouble hearing you. Well, I'm going to give you a little bit of intro. Kevin is the co-owner of Earthly Body. Earthly Body is a brand that we've been selling for some time, and they started in 1996. He's got some amazing brands that we're going to talk about today, or sub-brands within the Earthly Body category. We've got the Hemp Seed brand. If Tobin can get the Hemp Seed graphic up for us. And then we're going to talk about the Marrakesh brand. And then we're going to talk about CBD Daily. And we've got some new CBD products also to talk about. But the coolest thing, I think, is Kevin kind of started this brand before a lot of other companies were even talking about these type of ingredients. So I really look forward. This is our first time talking, interviewing each other. So I'm going to just be asking you questions, Kevin, about your experience and your growing Earthly Body in the beauty industry.
Great. We are a Phoenix
So tell me
story.
a little bit about Kevin and what's your history? What made you create a beauty brand?
It's a good long story.
We've got time. I brought coffee.
If I can make it relatively short, it goes back to, I can just tell you that there's a lot of people who have been laid off recently. And some of them are my friends who have been working in jobs for a long time. And because of this COVID-19 thing, they find themselves unemployed and having to reinvent themselves. And the start of Earthly Body actually relates to that exact situation, which has to do with my dad, who was laid off from a job that he was at for however many years. Back in the day, they would not ask you about overtime. They would tell you you're working overtime. And in his case, they told him he was going to be going to the graveyard shift. And he tried it and couldn't hang with it. And he went to his boss and said, I can't hang with this. I need to get out. And the boss showed him the door. He was probably 40 years old.
What year was this, Kevin? When was this?
And this is in the 60s, late 60s.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Maybe 1970.
Okay.
And he and my mom had a choice of either freaking out, maybe becoming homeless, or reinventing themselves. And they started a beauty supply business with very little money. I'm not even sure how they scraped together the money to do it, but they did. And they had no business experience before, and they started a beauty supply store. And then one thing led to another. They had one store, they moved to a larger location. I actually met my wife while I was trying to become a musician, trying to become a rock star, was more accurate.
That's the hair. Nice.
Yeah, the hair. Well, the hair is because I haven't had a haircut in 3 months, but it's usually long anyway. But my wife and I met while I was, again, trying to become a rock star, more accurately, a starving musician. And she was working as a manicurist in the beauty supply store that's in Chatsworth, that is, to this day, still there. My mom is 85 and still owns her store. But being that we were...
My first apartment was in Box Canyon there in Chatsworth.
You know, that's where we live.
No way!
In Box Canyon, yes, ma'am.
That's weird. We'll have to talk about that. I lived in a little 2-story building across from that little store. You know,
okay, so
store?
we would have been neighbors. We've been up there for a long time.
That's funny. Okay.
So we were young and had lots of energy and ideas. My wife and I decided to go from just working in a beauty supply store to owning a beauty supply store. We went from 2 to 3. And then here's the Phoenix part of the story. We had an organization called the Woodland Center. It's a long story about what it was, but the bottom line was that it was a victim of the 1994 earthquake. And the building we were in was red tagged, trashed, and we were forced to go out of business.
Wow.
And we were able to get some SBA money, and we'd always dabbled in manufacturing. We were always trying to find things that people couldn't find elsewhere. And we could have either just said, well, I guess we just can't sell them, or we could find somebody to make them for us, the original private label. And when the earthquake hit and we were out of business, we had an opportunity to not only reopen our stores, but take some of that money and we started Earthly Body. Earthly Body, name of one of the stores. And we thought it also sounded like a cool name for a brand. And then we started making personal care products.
That's a great story. I love it too because of the times that we're in right now, and you said it so perfectly in the beginning, is it really hits home with where we're at right now and so many people unemployed and actually kind of recreating themselves. You know, so this could be just a great inspiring story for anybody out there looking to maybe not freak out and reinvent themselves, right? You know?
Absolutely.
Exactly, just like your mom and dad did.
We were flat broke. We had nothing. We were borrowing money from our parents. We had nothing. We had our kids. We had our health. We had our great ideas. But essentially, we were starting from zero. And,
I want to say hi super quick. We got some good people joining us. Hi, Karen, Celine, Joe, Rio, Emmy. Please, anybody, as we go along, if you have any questions for Kevin Wachs, the creator and founder of Earthly Body, please let us know and we'll be happy to answer the questions. I'm getting to know Kevin myself. What a great story. So you created Earthly Body in 1996?
Yeah, it was about a couple years later before we really finally got off the ground. We were manufacturing in the back of one of our stores and it grew from there. But we were literally working out of our garage. In our warehouse now, there's a picture of my wife invoicing down in the garage. There's a calendar that happens to be in the picture, and sure enough, it's 1996. We were invoicing in our garage in Chatsworth Lake, which is right next to Box Canyon, which is probably when we were there.
I actually probably was. I lived in Box Canyon during the '94 earthquake, so because I was actually going to Cal State Northridge at the time when the whole parking structure collapsed. So I'm so familiar with your story. It's like being there. We started this business in 2004, so we're a little bit behind you. But with Earthly Body, what was your first brand? What products did we start with? What did you kick off with?
What's funny, we had 4 SKUs. We had a display. It was a 28-piece display. I remember like it was yesterday. 6 pieces of the 4 SKUs. It was a hand and body lotion. And there was 6 pieces with a tester of each and a wood display that we built by hand in the garage with glue and a nail gun.
Wow.
And this is actually a really cool story too. We were graciously given a spot at the ice show by a friend of ours from a company called J&D Brush Company, who's gone on to be Wet Brush, and I think Jeff is actually retired now. But he was gracious enough to give us, and when I say a spot, I mean a spot. Maybe
a corner?
It was a corner, 2 by 2, to stand in the aisle and squirt people with lotion. We had taken a lot of care and come in with a product that we liked. It's an important part of our business even to this day, especially with my wife. She's only making products that she would want to put on her body, and very particular about what we do. We'd spend a lot of time coming out with the perfect hand and body lotion with primarily natural ingredients. And we stood on that spot at the ice show, and people were not only buying stuff from us, because we've done that for all these years in retail, but they were buying stuff that we actually had made.
Wow.
And that was a really, really cool moment to have people buy something that was our own brand.
That you created, the smells, the feel, the ingredients. It was your baby.
Yeah.
Now, was that a hemp seed product or Marrakesh, or was it something different?
It was a hemp product. The reason for the hemp was partly aesthetics, partly business. The aesthetics part is that we were starting to get a lot of buzz, if you excuse the expression, about the wonders of hemp. How, as an ingredient, having nothing to do with a drug, it's not marijuana, it's hemp and it's different, is just an amazing ingredient for moisturizing and rejuvenation, and we've heard a lot of things. On the business side, we were getting a lot of requests at our beauty supply store for hemp products. Now, again, we didn't have any. We know the Body Shop had just started making their hemp products, but we can't sell the products that were at the Body Shop. So our option is either tell people, sorry, we can't go to the body shop, or again, make our own hemp lotion, which is what we did. We found somebody who could make it for us. Also made in the garage, this guy's garage way back in the day. And that was our introduction to hemp. And as soon as we saw
Wow, so the Hemp Seed products is now a full collection, right? Did it grow from that to this line, correct?
Yes. Yes.
So we have candles now that are amazing. They're 3-in-1 candles. Explain your candles, because I think that's one of the coolest products.
Yeah, candle is something that we saw at a trade show, and we also thought, wow, this is really, really cool. Or warm, if you will.
Yeah.
The candle it's a candle, and it burns like a candle, but it melts into a warm massage oil. And you can actually dip your fingers, or we sell with a spoon. So you can spoon out the oil, and you could rub the melted, which looks like candle wax, onto any part of your body and do a nice warm candle massage. It's not hot, it's more warm and soothing. But the oil that it's made from is made with hemp, and it's really good for your skin. So it's a really fun product.
Yeah, it's amazing. Who would have thought that you could pour the candle as it melts out and it becomes a massage oil, and then you're able to rub it all over your hands. One thing I'm is super curious about is why doesn't, when you put it all over your hand, it kind of emulsifies. You don't end up with any kind of residue. How does that happen?
It's not really wax in a sense, it's just oil. And as you rub it in, the oil soaks into your skin.
Yeah.
So that's what it does. It's not much different than using, a lot of people back in the day used to put baby oil on their skin, and they would use that to keep their skin from getting dry. That was mineral oil. That didn't necessarily penetrate very well. It's not that great for your skin. But the notion of putting oil on dry skin isn't anything new.
No.
And that's exactly what we were doing. So it's really not candle wax per se. It's just solidified oil is what the candle's made out of.
And it makes the candle burn for a really long time too. It feels like it doesn't, the wax kind of goes away really fast, where this might go to liquid, but then it just hardens back up too. So your candle, if you're just using the candle. But yeah, so you have a candle, you have a massage oil, and then obviously a great oil for your skin too.
Yep. And then we expanded the line, lotions, skin butter, a body mist. We have a spray-on oil, which is my wife's favorite. Again, going back to the notion of putting baby oil on in the shower when you get out of the sun and your skin is dry. That's something that's kind of old school. So we make a spray-on oil that you can do the same thing, only with the oil being good, not mineral oil. And again, I think I mentioned shower gel. The skin butter is fabulous. It's a real thick, rich butter. We expanded into shampoos, conditioners, lip balms. Pretty much everything that you can think of that you might find, say, at the Body Shop or Bath and Body Works.
Yes, it's such a great pure line. Now, I like those other companies that you mentioned. I love your smells. Hi, Bobby. Hi, Maya. Hi, Christy. Hi, Linda. Thanks so much for joining us from Michigan. They say these are their favorite products, so I wanted to say hi to them.
Great.
Yeah. So one of the biggest things I love is all your scents. Where do you get the inspirations for all your smells?
Everywhere. My wife's got a really good nose. I've got a pretty good nose. It's one of those things, there's an old joke about pornography, and I'm going to tie this in a weird way. And I think when they asked a Supreme Court judge about how he was defining pornography, and he said, I know it when I see it. And it's kind of the same way with us with fragrances. When we smell something that's out in the world, either in a fragrance or another personal care product, or a representative from the fragrance companies coming in and putting things under our noses, we know it when we smell it. We know that fragrance is going to be loved, and we draw from a lot of different experiences in getting those. We love our fragrances as well. So
do you use fragrance, or do you use essential oils, or is it a combination? What are the ingredients for your scents?
They are fragrances, but they are fragrances that are derived from essential oils. You can use pure essential oils as fragrance, but the reality is that a lot of the information that's out in the public is not exactly true. There's not that many pure essential oils that smell good. Most pure essential oils don't smell good at all. So when people say that they're using fragrance made with essential oils, they're basically making the same claim that we are, which is we're using fragrance that's made primarily from essential oils with some other stuff. The important thing there is that there's an ingredient called a phthalate. It starts with a P, but it's pronounced like it's with a T. Phthalates are not particularly good, and what we make sure that we do is we are only using fragrances that are phthalate free, and then they are safe to use, and they do have a large percentage of essential oils in them.
And you're exactly right. That is how we classify ingredients on our Clean Salon. We have all of your Clean Salon ingredients. We'll pull up the icons on Clean Salon. So Earthly Body products are part of our Clean collection. They have products that are alcohol-free, fragrance-free, and so for our fragrance-free, we are talking mainly phthalate-free. It is the phthalates that are really the irritants in people's skins, and that's what they're looking for it to be free of. But people don't always know that in there, so they think it's fragrance-free, but it's really they're looking for phthalates. So it's great to have that explanation from you. They are also all cruelty-free. No artificial colors. They have organic products, paraben-free, sulfate-free, vegan-free, or vegan-friendly, and biodegradable. So all of the key features are kind of where you're targeting, and that's what makes us such great partners, because that's one of my passions right now, is trying to find beauty products with better ingredients, better sustainability, and better purpose in the beauty industry. Rio is saying, are you thinking of expanding to the markets outside the U.S.? She's in Canada and is hoping to try some of your CBD products.
Yeah, CBD in Canada is a problem right now.
Okay.
The goofiest thing in the world is going on in Canada. We're not quite sure why. There's got to be some kind of reason, but we can't figure it out. But recreational marijuana is legal in Canada. Topical hemp CBD, which is what we make, is not. Now that doesn't seem to make sense to us.
I didn't know that.
The laws appear to be heading towards a change, but the best I can say right now is that they're heading towards a change, and they haven't changed yet. So sadly, we cannot sell our products, hemp products, CBD products in Canada.
Okay.
Hemp products are fine. And again, that doesn't seem to make sense, because the CBD that we use is derived from hemp. It's the exact same plant. So it just doesn't make any sense to us at all, but I'm not the Canadian government and Health Canada, so we're at their mercy. We're working it every day to try to lobby for differences or different laws, but we are who we are.
Boy, we just keep hitting topical points, right? We're not the government and we're not the health department. Who knows who's making those decisions, right? Christy Edmonds says, the hand wash. I made it all winter without dry hands. I love the hand wash. So before we move on to one of the other brands and jump into the CBD, we have to talk about this, because this is one of our top selling products right now.
Yeah, the hand wash is awesome. What we did with the hand wash is we put a little exfoliant in it, which happens to be made from pumice.
Oh.
So there's a report that we have that's available to anybody who wants to read it, and it's from the FDA, and it talks about the effectiveness of killing germs, comparing washing your hands and an antiseptic. And it actually says that washing your hands is more effective. Mm-hmm. And which is, a lot of people don't think that's true. They're walking around with the disinfectant. We've got one in my car, but actually hand wash is better. The problem with a lot of the disinfectants is that they dry your skin out. They're usually alcohol-based. We all know that that's not good. It dries your skin out. The hand wash, besides being more effective, actually is moisturizing. Right. And it's even more moisturizing with the exfoliant, because what it does is the pumice is able to scrub off the top layer of skin, and then the moisturizing oils soak in, and it's got the CBD in there, and it leaves your skin not only disinfected and free of germs, but it leaves it really, really soft, like a baby's butt soft. So
that's a great point, because we are hearing from so many nurses saying, needing lotions now, or the butters to repair the hands from all of the alcohol that has gone on. And Unfortunately, if you're on the go and you don't have access to a sink, it is what it is. You got to use what you can use. But if you do, it is the smarter choice to use soap and just take a little bit longer, right? You have to wash a little bit longer than a sanitizer, but it works
we'll
just
talk
as
about
well.
later at some point when we talk about our nonprofit, but we've been putting together these hand wash kits for the homeless here in LA that involve giving them water to wash their hands with. But besides the water, we have these small sizes of our hand wash so that they can use them when they're out on the streets, because clearly that's a potential, huge problem. And we're trying to do our part to combat that problem. I think we've handed out already almost 20,000 of these hand wash kits.
Good for you guys. Nice job, Earthly Body.
Yeah, very proud of that.
Yeah, you should be. That's really cool. It is a great hand wash, and again, one of the amazing scents that we have. We had another question coming in from Michelle Roberts. Has been the most helpful to us. I have neuropathy in my feet, and the CBD Skin Butter and Hemp Seed work great. I'm so pleased. So great to hear, Linda. I'm so glad that these products are helping you out. Well, it seems to be the big topic right now is the CBD. So let's jump on to the CBD Daily. And it's definitely one of our most popular CBD brands. We have a few of them, not too many, but this is one. I think you were definitely our first on the market. And what made you jump so directly into this?
Kind of the same story. We were hearing from the aesthetic standpoint about the amazing things this ingredient is doing. One of my sons was one of the first ones, it's probably 5 years ago, starting to tell us about this buzz about CBD and how amazing it is in so many different ways. And frankly, we kind of blew him off a little bit the first couple of months. You know, we were already busy with Marrakesh and a bunch of other things, and it seemed like a fringe product, and we kind of, I said, blew him off a little bit. And then it got to the point where we just couldn't ignore it any longer. The demand got so great. Now we go back to the business side, that the demand got great, being that we're already somewhat in the business making hemp products. And then it just exploded. It went completely crazy from a demand standpoint, and for good reason. That being is that every product that we make and have tried and use ourselves works in an incredible way, from moisturizing to the hair care for your scalp to, and I don't even know if I'm able to say this, there's a very interesting thing that goes on with CBD, and that's you have to be careful with the claims that you make. So I'm going to go on the side of caution here and not make any claims in our discussion. Anybody could go on their phone and ask about CBD, and you'll hear all the things that it does. But I can tell you that the things that you hear about on your phone, it is really what it does. And
I'll go out on the limb. We've heard,
okay.
We hear it's pain relieving. We hear it's calming for your nerves, anti-anxiety, anti-inflammatory, antifungal, antibacterial. I don't know if it's true. Try it yourself. But from what we've heard and what we've heard from our clients and all the reviews on the products, I have a diabetic mother with neuropathy. It's you'll try anything when you're in chronic pain. And so Absolutely. For those that have tried it and it does work, God bless it, right?
Absolutely. It's almost a miracle ingredient. And frankly, I don't know if anybody really understands it completely at this point. I think they're still trying to figure it out. But what they do know is that it does what it does. I have a quick story about this that I think I can tell. And it's one of the stories.
You can tell anything, Kevin. We're all friends here.
All right, good. So this is about a doctor friend of mine who is older than me, point being that he's been in the medical profession for the better part of his adult life, probably 50 years. And he had his granddaughter who was deathly ill. Granddaughter, I think, was 2 years old, and they had given up hope for her. They had basically thrown up their hands saying, we have no options left. And spinal meningitis, by the way, is what she had. And my friend's son, kind of a hippy-dippy guy like me, said, ask the doctors, would you mind if I gave her CBD? And the doctor said, look, we have no options left. You can do whatever you want. There's no harm in it. And sure enough, long story short, she was cured and she is happy and healthy right now. And this friend of mine, who again is a medical guy, a staunch medical guy, I want to see proof, I need to see charts, I need to see numbers. He is one of our biggest proponents now as well, because he's seen absolute proof that this thing is working. Could that be, I guess that is anecdotal. Could that have been a placebo effect with a 3-year-old girl? I suppose it could have been. But it just seems like you hear way too many of these stories. There seems to be something there.
Yeah, I'm not sure a 3-year-old could really process a placebo effect on that, but maybe she's heard in the 3-year-old play groups that CBD is the thing, right? I don't know.
Well, even the whole thing with pets, CBD's had amazing results with pets. We give it to all of our dogs. And you got to figure that the placebo effect with animals doesn't come into play at all. So there's clearly something there. And it's been around for obviously centuries, but I just don't think anybody knows exactly what is working and why. And they're trying to figure it out now. The studies are being done, and when they're done, then we will be able to make the claims. But this is all relatively new. And
I'm really glad that this research is going on, because even since it started, and I think a lot of people are like this, until you have a story that really hits close to home to you, until you have a relative that you love dearly who's lived in chronic pain and then finds some relief, or I have an aunt who her grandson has a rare disease where he has seizures, and he literally could bite through his own skin, and they got him on CBD, and he's now able, they had him in casts and stuff, it's just like there's big consequences, and when you hear the CBD is stopping seizures or stopping this, just you hear it, you kind of, but when it affects someone personally that you see yourself, that's when I started going like, okay, maybe I should look into this more, because it wasn't really a product I would jump on to start selling. Obviously being e-commerce and out in the world, it kind of puts us a little more vulnerable to being the first out there. But in the same instance, when it's helping people and people are having trouble getting it, it's worth it. So I think it's a great point to why you do what you do.
Right, and just to be clear, we make topicals. We make things that you're going to rub on your elbow, your knee, your feet to take care of pain or discomfort, or in very much the same way that you might take an Advil, except a couple things, big differences. Number one, Advil is a chemical. You can OD on Advil. If you took enough of them, you could kill yourself with Advil or any other drug like that. I don't think there's been any instance of anybody ODing on hemp-based or even marijuana-based CBD. You may not need to use an excessive amount because it works with small amounts, but it's completely safe and natural. So that's a huge difference for anybody like me, and obviously you, who's concerned about what they put not only in their body but on their body as well. And that's what we love about it.
You should be very proud of that. And I love that we're actually getting into the shampoos, which are great for scalp inflammation. If you're suffering from dandruff, psoriasis, any type of allergic reactions on your scalp from other things, it is a very calming shampoo, and it is a great moisturizing shampoo for your scalp as well. And then I love your lip balm. I think the lip balm happens to be, I don't know why, it's one of my favorites in that it's just so moisturizing. I'm one that suffers from dry lips a lot, and I really think the lip balm is a great product too.
So here's another thing that is important to point out, is that the CBD is not the only thing in all of these products. Obviously, it's an important part of it, but our biggest competitive edge is that what else is making up each of these products is high quality and moisturizing and primarily natural. So you're getting the whole package. That's not pure CBD that you're shampooing your hair with. Right. It's actually, even if you take the CBD out, it's a great shampoo. The CBD, because it's good for your scalp, makes it even that much better. But we're coming from a place where we've always taken great care in making high quality personal care products. And that's not necessarily the case for a lot of the CBD products out on the marketplace right now. Yes, they have CBD, and there is a good thing to be said for that. But sometimes the other stuff that's in it is not so great.
Right.
So we like to think we have a good competitive edge coming from the professional beauty business in that we have to have quality. If we don't, even without the CBD, we can't compete because obviously our competitors are also making good quality products. So that's what makes us different. There's a lot of products out there on the market now, and there's a lot of good ones. There's a lot of not so good ones too.
Yes, and that's what we touched on your clean ingredients. And before you even came out with CBD Daily, Earthly Body was a great brand that had great ingredients. And so their products, now their CBD products make it's even more interesting. Christy says that her son has a sunburn right now, and the first thing he wanted was the fast acting spray for his sunburn. That's so we're heading into summer. That's a good product for that.
Absolutely.
I didn't know that, Christy. Thank you for the comment.
Yeah, absolutely. It's great.
Good to know,
We have a lot
Moms.
of products that are great for the summer. You know, the new Ultra Care, we have a foot cream, and feet maybe get a little bit ignored during the winter. Oh, it just happened to come right up there. But once the shoes come off and the sandals come out, foot care is important. The oil in here is got some, obviously the moisturizing properties. And I know when you're on your feet all day, as I'm sure you are because you're a busy gal,
Yes.
you know, being able to relieve the pain from a long day on your feet or a long day running on the beach, as the case may be these days in LA, this is a great summer product, right in time for the summer.
It's also a great product for any of those hairdressers out there who are interested. You can really upgrade your pedicure by offering these as an add-on service, a CBD massage. It's just a little extra relaxing and a little extra moisturizing, and we're getting some requests for those lately.
And may I add, most stylists are on their feet all day. So I know, you know, most of the stylists that I know, especially the busy ones, they don't sit at all.
Yeah.
So when they get home, they're having foot pain. So
Absolutely.
And also with hands too, they're using their hands all day long too. So
yeah, absolutely. And the we're celebrating here, going to be opening our salon back up Monday. So I'm looking forward to this afternoon. I get to meet with all my stylists and go through all their procedures, but they're going to be working even harder with all the regulations, at least for a temporary time being, and all the sanitation and stuff that we have to do in between everything. So these poor girls are going to be running. So definitely something good to keep in mind for your end of your day when you want to just relax.
Yep.
And so I am excited about these new products. I haven't tried them. We have the foot cream and we have the hand wash, and then we also have the drops.
There's a cuticle oil,
Mm-hmm.
and we've got a hand and body lotion.
Hand and body lotion.
Great fragrance, and as everything we do has, and that's the Ultra Care collection.
So this is a new brand, or new products to the CBD brand. So you might be seeing these brand new right now. I think we just got them up on our website, so they're actually fun. We worked really hard to get them up before our show today so that people could check them out and read their ingredients and everything in them. So if you're interested, check those out. We already have them up. Good job, team. So now we'll jump over. Just want to talk about the Marrakesh line. Happens to be a line that is really near and dear to a lot of our clients, I think because of the smells, but there's just some really cool and unique products. How does this, it feels like it's kind of Indian descent or something like that. Where did you come up with Marrakesh, and what's the story on this brand line?
Same kind of story. There was almost the exact same story. You can kind of see our business model in play. This one is about argan oil. There were two things going on. Now, this is going back, geez, it's got to be 12 years ago, right at the very beginning of Moroccan oil. That's the best known brand. We might be a close second. And they were using this product called argan oil in hair and touting all of its wonderful properties of moisturizing and rejuvenation. And we were hearing a lot about it, and when we tried it, same thing. At that time, I believe we were still salon owners, so we had our stylist try the original Moroccan oil and the Moroccan oil shampoo, and of course our instant reaction was, we've got to make our own version of this, something that will be better than theirs, but at the heart of it is still argan oil, which most of the people watching know all about that. We did something interesting then. We flew to Morocco to tour the Argan Oil Plant is only in one place in the world, and that's in Morocco. And it's a very interesting place, and it's a very interesting procedure by which they process the oil from the nuts. You may or may not have all seen the pictures of the goats in the trees chewing at the argan.
Yes, my daughter did a report on it in high school, and it's fascinating to see the goats up in the tree, right?
Crazy stuff, but it's absolutely the real deal. I've got pictures that I took of the goats in the trees, and we were given a tour of the facility. I'm not sure if it's the same way now, but at the time, all of the argan oil production was being done by women's cooperatives, meaning it was all women, run by women, and we got to visit the cooperatives and meet with the people and see firsthand the whole process. It was a very enlightening visit that we had, and it was very inspiring, and we came back with all the ideas and hence led to the Marrakesh brand. The one thing that we did want to make different, and you pointed it out, was I believe Moroccan oil even to this day has one fragrance, and it's nice fragrance, but we wanted to make it that we had several different fragrances so that, we have our original one, which is a little bit of a hippy dippy kind of fragrance. There's some patchouli in there. It's a very unique fragrance, which we love. But we've also got a couple more traditional fragrances. And when things seem to be getting a little bit boring, possibly, it's time for take the same basic ingredients, use the argan oil, but bring in a new fragrance. And we just did that with, I think you have it pictured there, something that's called Isle of You, ISLE of YOU, but it can be pronounced I love you. The brainchild of the same guy who coined the phrase earthly body. He's our social media guru, Jeff Kasnoff, who I believe is tuned into the broadcast here today. So another creative score from Jeff on this one. But another
That's
great
cool.
fragrance.
I always read that as like isle, like an island, like.
Right. Because
it's got an islandy scent, huh?
It does kind of have an islandy scent. Yeah, it does.
Very fresh. And that is the biggest thing. So if you are one of those Moroccan oil, other brand argan oil people.
Those guys, yes.
Right, one of those other brands. But you don't like that strong musky scent that is in all of their products. This is a great option because it's super pure, great argan oil and comes in so many different scents. So if you're more of a fruity person, or you like the ocean scents, or you like they still have the Moroccan scents and the, all of the musky ones too, like the patchoulis and stuff like that, but you have a choice, and I like that. And in the Marrakesh brand is all of your scents give everyone a choice, because believe it or not, that's one of the number one things people choose products on, because you can't get around it. If you don't like a smell, you can't have it on your person all day long. It'll give you headaches or whatever. And so the first thing anybody does when choosing a product is, let me smell it. And I think that's just what makes your brand so brilliant, because you have choices for everyone, and then the ingredients to back those smells up. So. And
that's the second thing that they do after they smell it, is they read the label.
Yes.
Now, that's a relatively new phenomenon that never,
Smart.
Well, I would say it never used to be, but it wasn't near as prominent as it is now, because you've got a much more educated consumer base, and they're looking at, well, wait a minute, alcohol is the first ingredient in here. This is no good. Right. Or they're finding mineral oil or propylene glycol, which is basically antifreeze. And on all of our products on the back, we have a list of what we call our no's, yes, which is we don't have this, and we don't have that, and we don't have this, and we don't have that. And that's really important to, first of all, it's important to us.
There's no gasoline, no formaldehyde, no.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of no's. But of course,
and surprisingly enough, that's not, all products.
Yeah, we make air.
Not every product can make that claim. I love it. Well, these are really clean, good brand for our shower, our bath, our skin. Right now, everybody's using so much alcohol, so I thought Earthly Body was the perfect fit for today's show to just try and let you know of all the good stuff out there. Linda says, we hope our salons open in Michigan. I hope everyone's salons get to open soon. I actually touched up my roots. I'm a blonde today because I'm celebrating the salon opening. I had to let my roots grow with everybody else, but now since we're opening, it's part of my celebration. Look at the fresh blondes. Come on, we're gonna do this, right? Linda says, I just received shampoo and conditioner with a sample of the hand lotion, and I loved it. So, good deal. I'm glad you guys are loving those samples out there. So, Kevin, I've been excited to get to this portion because I'm not exactly sure what it's all about either, but these are probably the best parts of the show for me is how does Earthly Body give back? What is your passion right now? We have the Get Together Foundation. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, this is really the thing that sucks up most of my time now because it's become both my wife's and I passion. It seems like we work every day to come up with ways to fund this little baby right here, which started out as a little baby, and now it's really becoming something. Where do I even begin to talk about this? The Get Together Foundation was intended to be a pure charity where everybody's a volunteer and all the money that we raise goes to a particular cause. We did things for City of Hope. We did things for Music Cares. We did things for animal charities. And then the last couple of years, we started getting focused on the homeless problem in LA. And I can tell you that we do a lot of events, but most of the events that we do to raise money for our causes, again, right now is primarily the homeless cause, have to do with music. I've been a musician better part of my whole life. I'm a drummer. We put together this band called The Tribe, which is a collection of 25, 30 studio musicians in LA. Not necessarily famous people, but they're playing behind the most famous people on earth. Our band has played behind Paul McCartney and Ringo Starr and Billy Joel and Barbra Streisand and just listen.
Wow.
So we've got these people who have the same idea that we do, which is this giving back notion, knowing that they're going to volunteer their time, we're going to put on a concert, we're going to raise the money, and we're going to direct it to a cause. The funding for this, where there is some funding needed, is coming from Earthly Body. Every bottle that we sell, we take a portion of that money to fund this Get Together Foundation, help us put on the concerts. There are some expenses, of course.
You gotta have money to raise money, usually, right?
Yeah, we make nothing. We are all volunteers.
Great.
I'm probably one of the few. My wife and I both are one of the few directors of a significant nonprofit who take zero salary and give it all back. So the most recent thing we did got a little bit away from the homeless thing. Under the restrictions that we've got right now, where live shows are not happening for obvious reasons. We just did our first telethon last month, and it featured our band, The Tribe, but we actually had a participation of some very, very big people that, well, as an example, we had Carole King was one of our artists. We had Rick Springfield. We had a bunch of big Hollywood stars, Jeff Bridges, who was actually a musician as well, and a long list of participants. And that money went to COVID-19 relief for the first responders. And we raised, I think, $140,000
wow.
for COVID-19 relief. I've got the big giant check sitting over here. I should bring it over and put it in front of the, we're about to deliver at the City Hall on Monday. So I've got the big overblown check for $140,000.
Oh, let's see it. Do you have it?
Yeah, I'll put it in, stay here.
Yeah, for sure. We would love to see that. How proud should he be that they were able to raise that money and in a time when half of us are struggling to even keep it together. Look at this, Get Together Foundation.
I'm going the wrong way.
City of Los Angeles, emergency. Hold it up higher. Yes.
Am I going the wrong way?
You're going the wrong way. Yeah, go that way. That way. That's so exciting, Kevin. Tell us what it says. City of Los Angeles, what?
Yeah, you get the idea. But
I'm so happy for you and so proud of you. Where do you guys get to present that today?
I'm sorry, one more time?
Where are you presenting the check?
We're going down to City Hall to meet with Mayor Garcetti, and it's his actual fund that he put together to help. It's not only first responders, that was the primary purpose a few weeks ago, but we've got a huge homeless problem in LA, which is not unique to Los Angeles.
Right.
And right outside my window, I could pick up the camera and show you this too, but I won't. But we've got encampments literally right outside our window right now. And in LA, it's everywhere. And I'm concerned that this is not going to get better. When everything starts settling down with the virus, I don't know that the homeless problem is going to improve. So we're already gearing up for what we can do to address that problem even now, but beyond, because we think it's going to be ugly come this fall. And we got to start looking at it right now and doing what we can do.
Good for you. I'm so happy to be a partner and proud to be a partner with Earthly Body and all you guys are doing when half of us are having trouble just getting dressed and getting ourselves put together. Look at you. You're out there raising all this money, doing fundraisers. So what an inspiring story. Judy says, great show, Kevin. Incredible. Thank you. So thank you, Kevin, for sharing your inspiring story of Earthly Body coming from your parents and now you and your wife running it, and all pulling your kind of encouraging those who are maybe down and out right now that amazing things can come out of desperate situations when you pull yourself up by your bootstraps, right?
No, I believe it. We've lived it. It's a little Pollyanna to say I believe in the American dream, but I really do believe in it.
Me too.
I think that we've lived it, and I see it works. And it's working now, and I think that the future can be bright for everybody. A great idea, some hard work, maybe a little bit of money and help from friends along the way. You know, it's not just my wife and I. We have a lot of really good people working for us, and it really another kind of an old cliche about, you know, it takes a village, but it really does take a village. Our people here are so important to us, and all of the people that have supported us over the years without them, we're nothing. So we recognize the fact that it really does take a village for us to be successful. You add all that up, and success stories are on the way for everybody.
You are just such an incredible human being, and I think people are going to feel that watching this show. Is you've given credit to so many different people along the way, and that really is what it's about, you know, that especially when you are first starting out. Anybody out there willing to give you a hand up or give you a little corner in their booth just to kick it going, right? It means a lot. So just those small acts of kindness, and especially now your Get Together Foundation. So really cool. It's been a pleasure to meet you and hear your story, Kevin.
It's a pleasure talking to you, and thanks to everybody for tuning in, and we hope we continue to make you all proud.
Thank you. Well, if you guys want to know more about Earthly Body, please check them out at earthlybody.com, at cbddaily.official, at Marrakesh Hair Care, at Hemp Seed Body Care. So they're all over Instagram, all over all the social media channels. And then obviously you can shop their products at beautycarechoices.com. We have their full line, and we are proud to partner with such an amazing brand like Earthly Body. So thank you for trusting us, selling your brand.
Don't forget gettogetherfoundation.org.
And gettogetherfoundation.org. The passion behind it all. Good job, dude. Thank you so much for being on the show. We'll talk to you soon.
All right, our pleasure. Thanks, everybody. Have a nice weekend. Be safe.
And thank you to my team. We have the most amazing team here at Beauty Care Choices. Tobin on graphics, Allie on questions, everybody, my customer service team inside. Celine's making your mystery bags. They're shipping out your products. You really can't do things well without an extraordinary team behind you. So we love everybody on our team. And you know what? have a great weekend. We hope everybody has a good time. If you guys want to reach out, our numbers are below, and we're all here to answer your questions. Have a great day. Bye for now.